I can't believe it's more content.
We're on the air. Okay, go ahead.
You gonna take my thunder like that?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to ICBIMC, where we give you content for your amusement. Here's Alexander Pinheiro, the host, and the co-host is me, Jamie Pinheiro. No relation.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Jamie. Welcome everybody to episode 14 of I Can't Believe It's More Content. How's everybody doing? It's great. We are in April. You know, April showers bring me flowers, but I don't know if we're going to have any flowers because it's just raining like shit. We are here today in disgusting, slimy New York, and we actually have a special guest from out of New York. Thank God she should have stayed there. Our second ever special guest. She is Broadway's finest. She just got off the plane about an hour ago. She is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. Everyone, Moriel Behar.
Yeah! Woo!
Yeah, digital claps, everybody. Moriel, welcome to the podcast. It's her first ever podcast.
You popped that virginity.
All right, cut. No. Yeah, so like you've never done a podcast before, right?
No, but
Okay.
I was telling you guys I'm an avid podcast listener.
Right.
So
Yes.
I just feel so special right now.
She is a podcast connoisseur of sorts, and we've kind of like, you know, swapped podcasts before, and it didn't work out so well, but you know, it's the thought that counts.
No, it did not.
It's really the thought that counts. But thank you so much, Moriel, for coming. And as always, Jamie, I mean, he had started the podcast, so I'm not going to introduce him, but he is here.
I am here and I am queer.
And he that is true. And he's also glowing.
I'm very much so glowing.
He's glowing from the rain. He's just so moist.
No, I'm not moist. I'm just a little wet.
Moist.
Stop.
This is how it's all gonna be.
Kind of, yeah. Just like kind of like naughty quips, and then he says and she says.
And they says.
Yeah, so we usually start off with like what we're doing in our lives, but we're not going to do that since we have a special guest here today. So we do one of our little quip things, which is topic roulette. We basically just like kind of talk about like random things that's a little bit like off from like entertainment and stuff. But since like I'm uncreative today, I'm just going to do something industry related. So we're going to talk about each of us. If you could pick one celebrity, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be in like acting or movies. It could be like stand-up comedians or like, I don't know, a famous politician like Bernie Sanders. You want to fuck him? I don't know. Somebody you have a one-night stand with or somebody you want to date that is a celebrity.
Oh,
Jamie,
man.
go.
Oh, I was waiting for Moriel.
I'll let her take a sample from you. You want to go first?
I'll tell you.
You know right away?
I know
Oh,
right
shit.
away.
She got this.
Okay, go ahead.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Ooh. Me too!
No way. Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
In, I would say like looks wise in Creed 2, but
Oh,
like
yeah. Okay.
personality in like Black Panther. Like,
Oh,
boy
like
kind of thing.
the
But it
3-inch
would be-
dreads.
She wants it. Like,
Okay.
she wants it.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming you don't want like those whole bumps from like Black Panther, like those
No,
weird like bumps.
That's why I look
Like
size
the,
from Creed 2.
right, the 100 nipples, whatever it was. I'm not
Actually,
really.
honestly, I don't really mind. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Right,
Look,
just
whatever.
like just feel me with your braille, you chocolate man.
What are you actually saying to me?
Right. Where's your king now?
I love him.
Yes.
I just think but I also have been like following his career for a long time.
Right,
so
right.
Not just the Black Panthers of the
Okay.
world or everything. So.
Yeah. I mean, I could only remember Michael B. Jordan as far back as like I don't know. I don't actually know. Fantastic Four. I don't know what he's been in.
He was in like a bunch of random like TV shows, like Friday Night Lights, and he was in like
Oh, wow.
Parenthood.
Okay.
And yeah,
Interesting.
just like
So that's
that guy.
That's,
All
yeah,
those
yeah,
shows.
I agree. I actually have a poster of him in the back, and I'm straight. me.
He said maybe, folks.
Edit. So that's just the one night stand, or you would date him too, or like would you have another one?
Probably a one night kind of.
Like a.
I mean, I don't know. We'd have to see what.
We'd have to see like after the first
Couple of times.
first shag. Yeah.
Yeah, and my other one. I'm sorry, I'm doing two. I'm cheating.
That's
but
okay.
My other one is Emma Watson. I like love Emma Watson so much, and she to this day is my like laptop screen background.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I love her.
Like
I think I would want to date her though.
Right.
You know?
Is she English?
Yes.
Okay, so she has the accent. Okay, that's a plus.
Yeah.
It's always a plus as an American to have an English accent.
Do you watch Harry Potter?
No, I don't like Harry Potter. Everybody's gonna have a heart attack.
Still my heart.
I was just like, oh, I think Moriel's gonna leave right now.
Right. It's like, well, yeah.
Like Harry Potter?
It's not that I just never really. I got into the books when I was younger, and then I just stopped reading, and then I watched some of the movies, and then I was like, all right, this is enough.
Oh.
Like after the third movie, I was like,
I mean,
okay.
you should get back into it.
I was in a newspaper for reading the first book.
I still have to watch Sopranos.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. It's just like there's too much stuff on my.
There really is like there's really a lot. Like it's a lot. Like to go back to Harry Potter. It's like apparently like Dumbledore's gay. Like I don't know what she's changing. Like she's changing the whole. Anyway,
Those are the Fantastic Beasts.
Huh?
That they bring in like Dumbledore, like his background story.
Oh,
Fantastic
right.
Beasts.
Okay, I don't know, but I did see like a funny ass skit where it was just like J.K. Rowling was like hiding. It was like, well, you know what else I like change? She's like, what? You can't just change everything. And she's just like, guess who's gay now? And she's like, what? Who? Everyone? And then like slams the door. So funny. Okay, so you got Michael B. Jordan, Emma Watson. Mm-hmm. Emma Watson's a good one. Jamie?
Ricky Martin, if you are listening, I am single.
She bangs.
She bangs, he bangs, I bang.
You want to bang him?
I do. Multiple times. Because I think he's married, so like I'm trying really not to be a homewrecker, but
right.
You know, if you want that open relationship, I am willing, and only you.
Dope.
So Ricky Martin, please call me.
That's for the one night stand or like for everything?
One night stand. I would marry him. He's a fine ass Latino man. Like I would just.
I feel like he'd like cheat on you though.
I don't care. Like
no?
he could cheat on me a couple times. It's
okay.
all right, as long as he comes home to me.
The first couple times you forgive him?
First couple times.
Like the first 7.
Happens.
Yeah. Okay.
And okay, since we're doing 2.
Sorry.
Of the and one of the opposite sex. Michelle Rodriguez. If you want to manhandle me, I will appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Right. He has like this specific fetish for Michelle Rodriguez.
She is so hot.
Her and her scowl.
She is so hot. Like I love her personality. Well, at least in the movies, like what she portrays.
Right.
She is so hot.
Alrighty then. Well, that's Jamie on his take.
You, Alex?
I don't know. I think like definitely, I would definitely have a one night stand with either The Rock or Mark Wahlberg. Mm-hmm. I think that's like a strong.
I would love to watch this.
That's a strong.
Oh my god.
Threesome or something? No, I'm just kidding.
Are you?
No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I would love to meet them. Like, I would love to meet them for sure. I think Zoe Saldana is like definitely like, I don't know why, I just like kind of obsessed with her. She's like a Puerto Rican Dominican actress.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's hot, and like the way
she's even hot when she's green.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, Jesus, you're a fucking alien. I like even more so attracted to you. I'm like Captain Spock over here. It's like so weird.
Mm-hmm. She's attracted when she's green.
Yeah, and like like when you see interviews of people, like the way they talk, it's like, oh, okay, I like the way you talk as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's that. I can't really think of anybody else.
So back to Mark Wahlberg. Like, would you like...
And The Rock. Like, let's think about the logistics of this.
No. I mean, no, not really.
Would you be like a rotisserie chicken? Would you pleasure
The Rock is definitely rotisserie chicken.
Would you...
It's like a big turkey.
Pleasure Mark Wahlberg's third nipple?
How do you know that?
Because
that was in Transformers 6. It's not released yet.
Actually, it's been released since he was Marky Mark.
What?
Yeah, the third nipple. Like,
can you send me that, like, digitally?
Sure.
Can you send me the digital Blu-ray?
Google it.
Does he really have a third nipple?
He has a third nipple. It's like underneath here. Underneath the one nipple. I think it's this nipple, actually. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it is. It's just that he has a third one that's like
nipple.
mind-boggling.
It does matter where it is.
Does it?
A third nipple, if it was anywhere on your body besides like around your other nipples.
Okay, what if it was on it like on his big toe?
Like what the fuck?
Like on the end.
Why would your nipple be on your big toe?
Why would you have a third nipple?
It's called a deformity.
No. I don't even think it's a deformity. Some people are born with like, yeah. So this is not like an abnormal thing.
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't have a third nipple though. I don't know what's a pinch.
Do you know anybody with like that? Like
Yeah.
personally?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. There are guys that I know with like either it's a third nipple or it's like doubles on each side, kind of. Like usually the
Whoa.
third one is like smaller.
It's tiny, yeah. You sure that's not like the nipple bump like around it? It's the actual.
No. It's like a real. I mean, I don't know if it's like.
Yeah, like, that's when he was younger.
Nipple.
He was so fine. Mark Wahlberg was so fine when he was younger, but like you see the nipple.
Oh, that's not like a pimple?
No, it's a nipple.
Let me see.
It's actually a third nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
But
like,
it's mostly, but they mostly look like that, like
Whoa.
where it's like kind of just below your real.
like legit.
regular
Like I
nipples.
am like mind blown. I had no idea it was so common.
Welcome.
Wow. The third nipple club. How do I get one of these? What's going on? What's going on here?
But
Why
maybe
is it-
that's why he's
Become
like,
reborn.
that's why he's so muscular because when the pecs are protruding out of your shirt, like you don't really see the third nipple.
Right. It's fucking exclusive. The exclusive club. But anywho, so that is our little topic roulette for you guys. And let me just do a quick little introduction as we start talking into the entertainment industry for you guys. A little bit about Moriel. I wanted to like start the intro like that, but
The funny thing is, when I did the story for Instagram, the first take I did was, "We're gonna have Moriel Behar."
It's like not even hard.
You just gotta
You
like.
guys are like the two people I know that made it difficult in my life.
It's not just difficult. It's just like you're choking on like a rib bone, like Moriel, like you just fucking like.
But it's not like the H is just a regular H. It's not
Right,
Like
right. Aren't you Jewish?
yeah, but that's not. It's not oh my god. Happy Passover, ladies and gents.
Oh yes, Good Friday, Passover, Easter is coming up. You know, Jesus and all that. He's
For
coming
those
back.
who believe in
I
Jesus,
guess.
He's coming back soon. I don't know if
he's
you believe.
coming back soon.
But anyway, so Moriel Behar is a New York-based actor. She's from Seattle, Washington, and you actually just came back, right? You just had an audition, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, it was like a big thing for you, right?
Yeah.
A big, theater audition?
Well, without getting into too much detail, so whenever I'm back home in Seattle to visit, I like to try and get seen by as many theaters that are having general auditions or like any theaters, local theaters, since I have local housing there. My parents still live there, so I try and get, I'll email the casting director or artistic director, whoever I can get my hands on, and say like, hey, I'm in town. I'm a New York actor, but I have local housing. Is there any way you could see me for an appointment? And I've been doing it for the past 3 or so years that I've been going back to Seattle and visiting. And this was the first time that I went in for the general auditions for one of the like bigger theaters out there. And yeah, and then I got, after I had left to come back to New York, I got an email about coming in for an appointment for a specific role in one of their shows that they were doing. So, so yeah, it was a good enough, like it would be a really amazing job for me to buy a ticket back.
Right,
so I flew back for literally like one day
wow.
to do the audition. But yeah.
That's pretty cool. That you just like message directors and be like, "Hey, I'm here. Like, what's up?"
Yeah,
Like WID.
They're usually pretty good at that. I think, especially if you live in kind of like a Seattle
Smaller.
Seattle has a strong theater community as it is. The art scene is really great in Seattle, so I think a lot of the theaters are kind of used to that. So it's not too weird or anything. It's not like this crazy thing that I'm doing.
Like you're just like in Kentucky, like just doing like off Broadway, like Anastasia or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's a really, really good theater in Kentucky. Not that I recommend.
Oh wow, I wouldn't know. I don't know. That's so cool though.
But yeah, I mean, there's good theater wherever you go, but but yeah, the companies are like pretty used to it.
Right.
But yeah,
But there can be like good theater in Maine, right?
No, there's
a good theater in
plenty of
Maine.
really good theater.
Man, what the hell's a
too.
random state that's like
Iowa,
Iowa,
well, actually,
Idaho?
Idaho? Yes, is there a good theater in Idaho?
Nebraska.
I don't know
No,
good theaters in either of those places, but there probably are. Don't at me.
Arizona.
Alaska. No,
There's
you can't.
plenty of really good theater in Arizona.
I believe it. I won't say.
Alaska. Definitely not.
I don't know, but there's probably an
Florida.
art scene
It's
in
like
like
30
Juneau.
people that
There's
live there.
plenty of good theater in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm definitely sure that Florida for sure. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
That's so cool though.
Yeah.
And you, what happened?
I'm trying to think of all the states.
All 50 of them.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana. What's after I?
Go ahead. We got time. Finish it off.
Something,
Louisiana, Maine,
Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota,
And
Ohio.
Puerto Rico, if we recognize them as a state. Dun, dun.
End of song.
And the song. End of the podcast. No. Okay. So yeah, and you obviously you're talking about theater, and you have a musical theater background. You graduated from NYU Tisch School of Arts, right?
Yes, I got my at Tisch. My BFA is in drama itself, but I was in the musical theater kind of school there. So nowhere on my degree does it say musical theater.
Okay.
It's like it's a branch of like the larger drama program.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you just kind of like expand on that, like with all your...
Yeah, Tisch does a really good job of like making sure that all of the different studios there have a strong like acting first kind of background. So even in the musical theater department, of course, we had our singing and music and, all dancing and all sorts of different classes, but it was everything was from the point of view of like serving you as an actor,
right? Building
first.
around that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And I think it's because the degree itself is in Tisch drama. So
absolutely. Yeah. And did you did musical theater too, right? Did they do the same thing like at your school? They built around that. And what was it? What school was it?
It was AMDA, American and Musical and Dramatic Academy. It was just a big conservatory like program.
Okay.
Where it was just acting. Stage acting, film acting, musical theater, and then we had voice production and speech, which I did horrible in. We had music theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like all the dance
stuff.
classes.
What do you
jazz, ballet, tap.
What do you theorize about music? Like it's there.
Well, there's like how to read music,
right.
Read music, sight singing.
It's actually there is like a lot of theory that goes into music. It's like really, it's very mathematical. It's like it's crazy how much music and math are similar.
Okay.
Actually, I took that class. Like I love that class. I always got an A in it.
Okay.
Even when I had to sight sing, I would second guess myself, and my teacher would be like, "Oh, good job." I'm like, "What? I did it."
Okay. Like when you say theory, I was thinking like did the Mayans think that the aliens brought like these sounds? Be like hooga baga. How about do? Like, or something. It's like,
It's
what?
not like about the genesis of
Right.
like sound itself.
The genesis of sound.
That's the fucking title, the genesis of sound.
We should change all music theory classes to
Right.
be called the genesis of
The
sound.
philosophical meaning of where it originated from. That's great. Okay, so once you got out of NYU, you went on the national touring project, Alexander Who's Not Going to Move.
Yeah.
What was that about? I don't know much about it.
So it was on Alexander Who's actually it's called Alexander Who's not going to move.
There's like 5 knots?
There are 6 which
knots?
technically is a double negative.
Oh, another theory.
But it's have you guys ever heard of Alexander and His Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day? That book.
That's my life.
The second book in that series is the Alexander who's not going to move.
Really?
Yeah, and it was the musical version of that, and it was like mostly for kids, but we got to perform in like these crazy, amazing, beautiful theaters all around the country for thousands of children.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Very cool.
On the road.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
I mean, I bet. Like, you're just constantly on the move. Like,
Constantly in the move.
How many nights would you spend in each city, like, before you?
It
move
really
on to the next one?
depended on the schedule. Some nights it would be like, actually a lot of the time it was one night, and then we would get up the next day and like drive to our next location. Yeah, sometimes we would do a show in the morning. Most of them were mornings because it was like school shows.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do morning show, and then we would have to get all of the set back in the van and then drive to our next location, and then like, you know, we'd get to our next location late, and then we'd go to sleep, and then we'd have a show the next morning.
Whoa.
And then there were several days, you know, once it became like several days in a row of that, it was like
sounds fucking exhausting.
Yes.
Like,
it was, especially
lunacy.
like the drive. I mean, I got so used to at least 4 hours of driving a day. And sometimes there would be days when it would be like an 8-hour drive and you just like wanted to die.
Wow.
You know, like
how did you keep the momentum going? Like, but for doing like an 8-hour drive, and then you get whatever to the hotel at like midnight, and then you have to wake up for like a 9 a.m. show or whatever. Like, what would be like the driving point of like, how do you get back in the zone?
I mean, really, it has never felt more like a job to me. Like, doing musical theater has never felt more like a job to me than when I was on tour, because it was very much just like, this is what I am doing with my day. And this is exactly what I have to do because I have to go to work and do this. You know, I feel like in shows that I've done professionally in other places, it's been like, yes, it's my job. I'm going to work now, but also like, this is also what I love. And it's like magic. And not to say that there wasn't magic on tour, because there definitely was, but it's like you're doing nothing else but going from city to city and doing your job.
You didn't have like time to like absorb it and like be like, wow, I'm here. Right.
Right. Yeah. And it depended on where we were too. So if we had a longer stay, or I mean, no one, you know, I didn't care when we were in Dubuque, Iowa, you know, like,
it's like,
they do have a theater there.
Is that in Iowa or Idaho? No, it's in Iowa. Okay, guys,
Sorry,
we're okay.
Idaho. Still no good theaters
Geographical
there.
lessons here. Yeah, so, I mean, sometimes we'd be in these, like, tiny, tiny little towns with a lot of different people who I had never experienced before, like, just different types of people. As myself growing up I mean, you know, I lived in Seattle and I lived in New York.
Right.
Been in, like, 2 very big cities. My whole life, it was fascinating. But so sometimes we'd be in these tiny little towns where like, this might be the only piece of theater that these kids ever see in their lives, like truly. And then, you know, and then there were times when we were in Chicago, or we were, you know, we went and we did a trip to Orlando and went to Harry Potter World. Alex.
Whoa. Hey, I'll
Which
go.
was
I just want to
awesome.
understand it. I'll be like, oh, there's a witch. Like, first of all, that's Ronald Weasley the third sister. Like, okay, I just want butterbean casserole. Okay. Cool.
It's not the third, but
I don't know. I don't know.
His sister's name is Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
Yes, thank you.
All these crazy names. There's Jenny. Very cool. Wow. I didn't even know Alexander and the whatever day didn't have
like
a sequel.
Yeah, I think there are 3 books actually. I could be wrong, but yes. And then we all played like a bunch of different characters. I was mostly the mom track because, you know, when you're tall, it means that you're a mom.
Right. Yeah.
It's my experience.
You're the
in
mature
theater.
one. Right. Yes.
Which is so dumb.
Yeah.
Because there are plenty of short moms.
Plenty of short moms. Yeah. Ask any Spanish guy.
Like, how did you handle like your castmates? Like,
Yeah.
throughout this whole like
everyday
everyday journey
Oh
of
God.
It was
being
definitely
stuck in like a van or a bus.
it was
or whatever.
definitely a challenge, not gonna lie. Like, it's, I walked away with a few relationships who are like people who will be in my life forever, like so close, because you have to get so close in a situation like that.
Right.
And then I also walked away with people with like relationships that weren't bad, but like I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way to see
how they're
them
doing.
anymore. Yeah, and it's also just, it's so exacerbated by always being together.
Good word.
Alex just reacted in a big way about that
Every
word.
time there's a big word on the podcast, it's like, oh, good word. I'm gonna
Take that from my
down.
daily life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just any sort of little tiny thing that might bug you about one of your friends who like, because genuinely with everyone in the cast, we all met each other, and like I genuinely think that if we had not spent all of that time together, we all would have been like great friends,
Right.
but it's
Yeah.
any sort of tiny little thing that might bug you about someone, and then you're with them literally 24 hours a day
Right.
for 6 months of your life.
Yes.
It's like,
It's like having a conjoined like twin. Like,
Yeah.
you can't like go anywhere without
yeah.
them. Yeah.
And then there's also like money is such an issue too, because you are trying to, so like usually the way tours work, and there are a bunch of different types of tours, depends on if you're union or like what the level of the tour is, but you usually get, it's like your base per week, and then you also get a per diem, which goes towards your housing, for like wherever you are. So the company that I worked for has, you get a schedule of what hotels you're booked to stay at, but then you can also do things like, this hotel is like a little pricey and I want to save as much of my per diem as possible. So like, let's try and find, or I'll share, a room with 2 of you instead of 1 of you, whatever, so that you can save as much of the per diem as possible. So that meant, since we were all trying to save as much per diem as possible, because, you want to leave tour with like money saved.
Right. Yes.
So we were all like, a lot of the time I would end up sharing a room or like a bed even with someone, for just because we were trying to, okay, Jamie, we were trying to save money, so I think that's even crazy. Like, that's why it can get hostile. And then
Absolutely.
yeah, and it's hard too, because like in a cast, in any sort of cast, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys have experience with this, but it's kind of like everyone eventually finds out about the drama with like other people. So even if you're not directly the one who's like in the drama with a certain person, you're gonna find out about it. You're gonna be like pulled to different sides of it too. Right. So it just it was really like truly exhausting.
Yeah, sounds intense.
I mean, again, like it was not like, there were also a lot of positive things about it too, but
did you have any beefs like with people, like actual like,
or any
you
close
about to
relationships?
You about to throw it down?
God.
Speaking of one night stands, you know what I mean? Jermaine from that was the tree. Yeah, go ahead. Any beefs or like anything there?
I think that I walked away like relatively unscathed.
Okay.
I will say, like, there were. It was almost like everyone in our cast had one person that they specifically beefed with.
Of course.
So it was like 2 like opposing sides, which was like really challenging too, because you could have one person who you were like beefing with, but then you kind of like for the most part liked everyone else.
Right.
But it's like, it didn't, but everyone was having drama with everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there was one person who I think I had beef with the most out of everyone, but again, like, I don't think necessarily that, like, if we saw each other, it would be nothing but friendly.
Would it be like little things like, Moriel could hit that octave, I can't, that stupid bitch, like blah blah blah, or like would it be like, like they move like in a way that you get jealous or like
No,
like a fucking
I mean,
cup of water,
it's
I don't
literally
know.
it's yeah. I mean, I think when you're spending that much time with people, it could be about anything. But so my
don't like the way you
my
breathe.
thing was like, since I approached it very much as like this is my job, I don't think that even though you are spending that much amount of time with someone, that you are allowed to treat someone who is like your coworker poorly. Like you cannot. For me, it just drove me crazy when like one of our a cast member would wake up on the wrong side of the bed one day and then like treat us all like shit.
Yeah.
And it that kind of stuff really bothered me. And I, not to say that I like never had moments of that, but like, there were a lot of moments of that where I was like, listen, we are not your siblings. Like the only people in my life who I ever just like treat like shit on a day that I'm just having a bad day and I'm just like an asshole to are like my family, like my very direct family members. And I do not do that to anybody else in the world, like,
Especially people you have to spend like months with. Like,
yeah,
like,
and I get it. It's like we become almost like family members because we are literally living together and everything. But like, I tried very hard to be like, this is our job. Like we are coworkers, even though we're spending so much time together.
Right.
And there was
very
also
intimate,
like there was issues too where we would like be in a cool city and we would everyone would have a different idea of what they wanted to do, and partially you could like go off on your own and then sometimes you couldn't and then we'd have to make executive decisions about like what we wanted to do as a group and what we wanted to do as smaller groups or alone entirely. And I think I was always trying really hard to keep the peace. So like
the middleman.
Yeah.
The woman.
I think I was trying really hard to keep the peace a lot, which is exhausting.
That's tough.
Yeah.
To like try to keep a balance with all those like combining, first of all, like minds and then creative minds are like so like out there.
For sure.
Like the personalities, I guess, are just like probably so, I don't know, clashing maybe.
Everybody would hate me if I was on tour.
Why do you say that?
I'm just too much to handle. I'm just too much to handle.
It's a lot of man right there.
It's a lot of man.
Yeah.
I'll try to sleep with everybody.
That sounds like really cool though. That actually sounds very interesting. Like all that stuff. Like low key.
Cool.
Low key would want to do that, but then like high key would not.
I always thought about like trying to audition to go on tour for something. Right. But then I just don't know if I'm able to like spend 6 months of my life on the road.
It's really I mean, I also, it depends on which company you work for too. So like there are companies who are really good at having your back, giving you good accommodations. It depends on how much they're paying you to, all of this stuff, like, someone who is a real like representative of you and like treating you like a human, so you have like a good tour schedule. You don't have this like crazy like driving across the country like and then back to the same city that you were just at, and whatever. There are there are certain companies that do it better, and so I think it really depends on what you work for. But I definitely got a sense of like not to count touring out for me ever again, because I absolutely think that if it was the right show and the right company that I would be totally down. But I also gained knowledge that I was like, you know what? I like being in one place.
Right,
like, I like having a home, like living out of a suitcase for that long was really, really hard.
Right. And then like pinching pennies, like trying to come out positive, like financially.
Yeah.
Like that's like kind of,
and also sucks. Like, I mean, I was dating my ex-boyfriend then too. So, and
you had to deal with your traveling and like,
and
there it goes. I was like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, literally, and like we just like couldn't handle it.
Right.
So
it's a lot, to not see somebody for that long as well.
Half a year.
I mean, obviously it depends on the strength of your relationship too. And we were like relatively new then, so it wasn't like. It wasn't like, let's just say I wasn't like heartbroken about it, but like
the next day you
like,
were
okay,
in
I guess
the Lower East Side, like
I was like in the bar, like
you were down the hatch, down in somebody's hatch, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
Wow.
I also like totally like bumbled my way through tour too. Like we were on, my friend and I, like he was on Grindr and then I was on Bumble and then like or Tinder. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
There's so
but,
many
like,
now, like, yeah.
one of them, and then
Well,
we would
what a
like
bagel.
wherever we were, the types of men that would like come up on.
Oh God.
On each of our, it was so fascinating
That
because
sounds
like
like
yeah,
fun.
we would get to the South and it would be like all these men with like big
One
guns
tooth.
and like like they're
Yeah,
like
big
literal
guns.
like actual guns, not like muscles, like
Right,
like,
yeah, I
like
figured.
rifles,
Yeah.
like shooting things.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I got it. First guns, I was like, all right, I guess the pew pew stuff.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
Wow, I would love. That sounds like a lot of fun. Like just like seeing like the dating scene in like Kansas City. Like
Yeah, for
like,
real.
What type of weird chicks are over here? Like
Yeah, and it was like neither of us
Respect.
ever met up with anyone. We like that wasn't the goal
That's
at
good.
all.
Right. Like,
It
you were
was
just
literally
more
we were just
curious.
like, who are these people
Yeah,
who
like-
live around here?
right, that's like not in the news. Like what type of people are like here? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting, very interesting.
Did you ever have any like relations with anyone like in your cast?
Oh my god, James.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, what,
She was
out of all, like,
dating.
the
She was dating
touring,
somebody, man.
Has
Relax.
like showmances happened? Not necessarily
Yeah.
you, but like with other
Showmance.
people. Showmances.
Showmance is funny.
I had a little bit of a showmance, but it ended very quickly.
Man.
So.
Curtains were open for a while.
Oh my god.
Well, because honestly,
Sorry,
that's
it
what
was-
because I'm like, I would be like, I'm a growing man, and I have needs. So it's kind of like I'm 6 months on like the road.
Yeah.
Like, I would need to like
You had
release.
you had to have had
Stuff.
that one person that was a hoe, like girl or guy, like that was just every day like new piece of meat.
Like my cousin, he was
No,
on tour for for Fame, and literally like this gay guy was sleeping with this girl, like because I guess the girl was attracted. He was like, I don't care, and they
Right.
just
Yeah.
did stuff.
Right. A
I
hole's
could
a
never
hole.
do that, but I was like, all right, cool.
Interesting.
Wow. All right then.
That is interesting. I could never.
I bet there was. So that's really cool. Like, I don't know. I think I would like want to try. Like, if I like go like out to Cali, maybe I would try it. I feel like having like multiple jobs and like touring, that would be impossible to do.
Yeah.
I would have to like quit my jobs and be like, all right, I guess
Well,
I'm
that's-
going to Tahiti.
Exactly. That's that's what
Ooh, international tour. Would be nice.
you have to. Oh
That'd be-
yeah.
that'd be
But
cool.
the problem with international touring too is that a lot of times you don't even like you're just it's like you're going and you're going and you're going and you don't even really get to experience the city you're in.
Right.
It
yeah.
really depends on how long you're there and just like the circumstances. A lot of times too, like, someone gets sick and then you have a put-in rehearsal, like you have like the understudy go on or
Yeah.
whatever. So you have to like, there's just so much to do.
Wait, so understudies travel with you too?
They didn't travel with my tour, but yeah, with like a big tour on a big show, absolutely. You have understudies, and understudies are people who are in the cast as usually as ensemble or a smaller role already.
Oh, okay.
And then you also have the swings that travel that never go on unless
Somebody dies.
unless like all the pieces fall into place. It would be like it's like if the lead is out, then their understudy goes on, and so their ensemble track needs to be covered by one of the swings.
Right.
Wow.
Who like if the male swing probably knows all of the like ensemble male
their lines.
tracks.
Oh, tracks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like theoretically, like you could like go on tour and never see the stage.
theoretically,
Yeah.
yes.
That's crazy.
It's
Could just
it's
tour
not
every
likely.
city.
I
Like,
think
yeah.
like these days because it has become, I think, more of a thing where you can call out sick.
Right. Yeah.
But that you run the risk of that.
Wow.
But
I
I think
mean-
it's still a job. It's still a really good job. Like,
They still get paid, right?
oh, absolutely.
Sounds like a good risk. You could see every city and not have to work.
Yeah, I think it's
lit.
yeah. It's
I would want to be on stage. Like I don't know if I would be able to handle
Right.
just being in the back.
Mm.
I got invited to go on tour for some play, but to sell merchandise, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah.
I'll be so heartbroken, like the
Yeah.
whole trip.
Well, that sounds whack as fuck. First of all.
Like anybody want this t-shirt?
Popcorn, everybody, popcorn.
I should be on stage with these fucking assholes.
Licensed Cinderella popcorn. Wow. All right. Well,
That's awesome, though.
that is cool. And
Respect that.
yeah. So, and you have big news, right? Of your latest role.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry guys, I'm not really inclined with theater stuff, but I know it is like a big deal because Moriel was like celebrating it before. But you just landed a role as Catherine in Newsies that plays in the park in New
Yes.
Jersey, right?
Yes, I did.
All right, digital claps. Edit that in. So what's that about? Like, what is that? I don't know about that project. So what is
Yeah.
like the big spiel? Like, is it like a big role for like theater actors? Like
Yeah,
very sought after?
Well, Catherine is the female lead of Newsies, which is just like so exciting for me. I'm just
She's like blushing right now
Have you
listening.
seen
No,
Newsies?
No.
No?
Is that a movie?
It's a movie, too. Christian Bale was in it when he's
Yeah.
kid, right?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
As a kid?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
should
it
see
must be
it.
old.
Actually, it's really good. You would really like it. I really think you would really like it.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
The musical is like based on the movie, but is slightly different. Like the role that I play doesn't actually exist in the movie. She's kind of a conglomeration of two characters. But yeah, it's I'm super excited. It's set in 1899, and she's like an uber feminist of her time too. So like it works with the whole vibe.
Totally you.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like a young reporter, and yeah, and then there's like this like newsboy strike because they increase the cost of papers for
Right.
for newsies to
Okay.
sell, and like the newsies are like the kids who kind of live on the street basically,
You know, like
and
extra real about
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
those kids.
Right. The
and
Spanish kids. Yeah.
and then they oh my god.
Were there any Spanish people back then? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Go ahead.
Here we go again.
The political podcast, everyone. So okay. Right.
But yeah, so and then they like go on, you know, the basically the rich snobs try and raise the prices of the newspaper, and the boys are like, we can't afford this, and
Right.
we have to make a living somehow, and you're not gonna, you know, if we don't go out and sell newspapers, then you're gonna have like no one to go out and sell your newspapers.
Right. We're gonna go on
they
strike. Yeah.
strike, and then
Okay.
the role is kind of like the young reporter who's like,
Telling the story.
yeah, who's like writing about this. She wants to make a big name for herself and everything. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm really excited about
Wow,
it.
that's awesome.
Truthfully, I never expected to get it, which was why I'm like so excited.
Right. Yeah. Isn't that the best? Like when you like
Yeah.
think like, wow, that was like whatever, like audition.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we love this so much. Get your ass in here.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, no,
That's so cool.
truly was shocked. I had no idea.
Right. That's so cool. And
yeah.
it's gonna be in Edison, New Jersey. What's the dates on that?
July 10th through 20th.
July 10th through 20th.
10 days.
Where can people like buy tickets now? Like, can they go check it
No,
out?
actually, so with a lot of I've done multiple like summer theater gigs that are an outdoor situation, and basically you like show up with your lawn chair, and the tickets are only $7. Really
steal.
good price, and the shows at this company are very, very high quality. So I really vouch for that. If
Right.
you want to, if you're in New Jersey and
If you're-
want to,
yeah.
like
Or I mean, even if you're in New
Like
York,
that.
like
Yeah.
it's not that far. Like,
yeah,
honestly.
The commute is
Edison, New Jersey, plays in the park. Newsies. You'll see Moriel Behar as Catherine. The role that should never exist because it wasn't in the movie, right?
don't say
The role
that.
that just
Didn't
kidding,
exist
just kidding.
in the movie.
Yes, but congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So go back to like the topic we were talking about, like dating and like one night stands and stuff. We're not gonna talk about more of that, but I want to talk about like relationships in like movies and theater. Like what is like your experience? Like, has that happened to you where like you build on like a role that has a relationship and then it just kind of like builds and builds and then you kind of just build on feelings for the person, or like you try to like try it out or something like that?
Like
or-
a Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens
Yeah.
situation.
yeah, something like that, like a Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt thing. Like,
Yeah.
does anything like that happen?
Yeah. Well, for sure. I think it's really easy to get caught up in the like the characters. And in my experience, it has not. It doesn't necessarily work out in the long term. Like
Right.
if you, I mean, and kudos to the people who, you know, it really does work out and grows into like something special and like a real thing outside of like the show that you're working on or whatever you are working on, TV, whatever it is. But I think it's easy to get caught up in like you playing a character,
The story of like the two characters.
I also think too, like there are people in my life who I like. If I'm playing opposite them, I like fall in love with them as like a fellow performer, like someone who, like there are people in my life who I just absolutely love as people who like I trust implicitly to like, you know, feel like vibe off of me in a scene, you know, like, and like, you know, I trust to, you know, I don't have to carry scenes or whatever, you know, I just know that like we're gonna do amazing work. And so I've like I definitely have like relationships in my life where I feel like it's not romantic, but it's like we are just so connected as actors, you know. So that has for sure happened to me as well.
Like a character relationship, like you actually like you were able to like separate like the character from you.
Yes,
but it's never gone like further.
No, it has. It has.
Oh, it has. Okay,
for sure.
Right.
I just think there's a.
But not just like physical. Like you actually like you'd have a scene and it would be like intimate, and you'd be like, "Whoa, this guy's like kind of hot." Like
like, for sure. I think it's I think it's probably happened to like every actor.
Right.
You're ever in like a romance.
actors that she works with.
Yeah. How do you know, you little stalker? You.
I'm a little stalker.
I have worked with some attractive actors.
Wow.
Correct, but
yes. Her name's like D. Williams.
Oh my God,
Bleep.
Jamie,
Bleep.
if he listens to this,
Bleep.
Shout out to Dave, still with his
Just say
really awesome girlfriend.
Wow.
Still follow you on Instagram.
Committed relationship.
Beautiful person.
You know, we're not on the pirate scene anymore, but very good.
What?
Huh? What? Butt stuff.
Oh dear Lord. But yeah, it has definitely turned into something for me. But like it again, in my experience, like usually like then the show ends and then it's like
it's over.
Yeah, it's not necessarily over right away, but it'll fade. Like
Right.
it just does. You know?
Yeah, I just find that so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I would like research like TV shows that would go on for like seasons, and you would have like this like crush or like person you're like in love with, and like imagine like being with them and then falling in love, and then you like break up in the show, and then you go back and fall in love. Like it's just like emotionally like exhausting unless you like can separate that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, like not everyone can do.
No,
Yeah,
not everyone can.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, not everybody can do that. So I was wondering, in like theater, I guess it's more so because you're more like physically like throwing yourself and like throwing.
I will say, I will say,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do a lot of television or anything, and obviously it's like if you are in a if you're in a long lasting show, you're spending like more time with that person. But I think the thing about theater too is that like it's usually a really intense rehearsal process. Like everything is like that for that chunk of time. You were like always with your cast, and you're always rehearsing with like specific people, right? And you're right. It's like, especially I think with musical theater, a lot of it is like you are just showing all of your emotions because you know like you're on the stage, and you know singing is when you don't have the words to say it anymore, so you have so it's like everything is such like high intensity and high stakes.
Adrenaline and shit.
Yeah, that it's like, I mean, I think I like separate it pretty well, but there are moments when you come off stage and you're like, oh God, like I have to like chill.
What have I done? He's the gnome. God, and I love the gnome. There's one line. But. I don't know. I just always found that interesting. We had talked about this in like an episode before with stuff like that.
One of our first ones.
Yeah, personally, we haven't experienced it, but I figure since you're in theater and you do a lot of like more lead stuff, intimate lead stuff, that you would have more of a say in that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it definitely has happened again. Like in my experience, I also like actively don't go for that anymore. Well, first of all, I'm taken, but second of all, right. I mean, even before I was taken, I'm just like not. I think it's a sticky situation to like, get into like a romance thing with like someone who's in a castmate. Because again, like I really think of it as a job. Like I really think of it like as I'm going to work and like things are weird in theater and everyone hooks up with each other and it's like. It's just messy.
Right.
Yeah.
You just start like having a scene with somebody and then just like getting into the musical part and then you start getting aggressive and because you have like a passive aggressive thing where, you know, it only lasted for like a minute. Just like, like, you're a minute man. And like, it's like, what the fuck do you mean? It's like, we're on the show. Like,
like
it's time to rehearse our kiss scene. We don't have a kiss scene.
We're live. It's an audience and shit. Oh man, yeah, that's got to be cool. But all right. Anyway, separating from the theater and all that for a second. I know you're like a big Game of Thrones head, right?
Yeah. I can't wait for tomorrow.
yeah. Oh, it's today, Saturday. Yes.
And this is where you don't hear from me, folks.
Well, no, we're not gonna go on a tangent about Game of Thrones, but. Somebody had brought to my attention that this year is like a very important year for media because a lot of like legacies are ending. One being Game of Thrones, which has gone on for like 8+ years. Another being Avengers, which has been building on its cinematic universe for 10+ years. And then another being Star Wars, Episode 9, which is like completing the saga after 30, 40 years. So it's kind of just like, a lot to like process. Like holy shit, like obviously we're gonna have spin-offs and like all this stuff, but like I guess the stories and characters and stuff are like concluding. You know what I mean? So I don't know like how big you are on like other like Avengers and Star Wars or anything like that.
All three of those things that you just named, I'm a huge fan.
Oh yeah? Okay,
huge,
so good.
Huge fan.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know how you feel like about like any of that. Like
I mean horrible.
Horrible, right? Yeah,
I mean, I will say like so I've started to read the Game of Thrones books. I didn't read them before,
Yes.
So I started with the show, and it's kind of been my like way of keeping it going a little bit because I'm like, oh, like even when this season ends, I still have like the 4th and the 5th book to read.
You're in delusion. You know?
Yeah. Yes. Denial.
Denial.
Denial. Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like
this is like when you start feeling old. Like, because, like, Robert Downey Jr. is not going to be Iron Man, and you're not going to see, like, Daenerys Targaryen anymore, and then you're not going to see, like,
I sort of feel, though,
Luke
like,
Skywalker anymore, or, like, Leia, or, like, all these people. It's like, wow, this is...
But it was... I think with Star Wars, like, I already had, like, a mindset of it being over, because it was over.
It was, for a while,
And then, I mean... Not to always bring it back to Harry Potter, Moriel, but...
Come on, get a grip, girl.
But when Harry Potter ended, it was like a huge death for me. It was just because, you know, that to me was just like so the pinnacle of my existence in childhood.
I could understand that though. When it ended, I was like, because I used to watch it all the time, like when the movies came out, when the books, whatever. I used to be with my mom, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna be going to the movies with my mom anymore and talking about this.
Yeah,
well, but I will say with Harry Potter, it's like totally lived on. Like that's the thing. I think like with Game of Thrones, it's like it's almost like not over. Like you know, it's just like the Harry Potter movies are on TV all the time, and like there's Harry Potter World, and there's all you know, there's like always this new thing. And yes, you're right. Like spin-offs are like worse.
They're already in development. They're already like being filmed.
But I don't know. I just feel like it's something that makes such a like a culture shock. Like you know, or like you know, everyone watches. Game of Thrones, except for Jamie.
Except for me.
You know, I just feel like there's a way that it's like, I don't know, it's still going to be exciting to see your favorite actor. You know, it's still exciting it's going to be like, oh my gosh, like, that's Tyrion Lannister. And, you know, whatever.
Because, like, me personally, like, obviously the shows and movies have brought you all the way to this point. Like, you loved it so much. I don't think, like, any type of spinoff is going to, like, of course, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh shit, like more of this." But then it's gonna be like you're not gonna invest yourself again for another 20 years.
Yeah.
I guess at least not everybody is gonna, for like
Yeah.
a new Game of Thrones series, it's like new actors, new characters. Like, oh, we're not gonna see this, or like a new the next Marvel movies. It's like it's not gonna be Chris Evans, it's not gonna be Robert Downey, it's not gonna be Mark Ruffalo, it's not gonna be, what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like investing yourself all over again.
I think I would be more okay. Like, I honestly feel like more at peace with, again, first of all, Star Wars, because I felt like it already ended.
Right.
And then it came back, so it's not as big of a deal that it's like ending again.
Yeah.
And honestly, with Avengers, because I feel, obviously it's not over, but like
Right,
with the new
yes.
characters and people retiring and
Yeah,
everything.
but they've been
because
building for like this
it's
one
been
thing.
building for so long, and
Yeah.
I feel like at peace with the idea that it's like that this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like Game of Thrones to me uniquely feels like it was just so slow paced for so long, and it's been like 8 years of me watching this. It's so slow paced, and now the past
death.
like 2 seasons, it's like wait, what? Like now they're like, oh, hurry up, we gotta finish. You know, so
yeah, it really does. Yeah, like
And
it would
now-
take like 3 episodes to get from here to like over here,
Yeah.
and then it'll just blink of an eye. Like I'm here now.
Yeah.
like, in one episode. Like yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like
It does
mostly
feel
horrible about Game of Thrones
Right.
because it's like everything is amazing. Like every episode right now is amazing because it's so jam packed with like all this crazy stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like I feel like there's no time to process
Right.
the end of things. So.
Yes, it does. It does feel like you saw the last episode, right? Like I'm not going to spoil anything, but like there's there's just one scene where they're
Jamie's
like
totally checked out.
they're flying, they're like
Yeah.
in the air with the dragons, and it's like there's 5 episodes left. What are we doing right now?
Why are we flying
dragons.
so? I mean, it was awesome, but also
Yeah, but
like
it's like
Yeah.
it's been 10 minutes of flying. Like, can we speed this up? There's only 7 hours of the show. Like,
very true.
but yeah, what about you, Jamie? Like, how do you? I don't know how invested you are in like, and obviously you don't watch Game of Thrones, but like Star
Nope.
Wars and Avengers, like.
Star Wars,
Are you
I've like
feel-
always watched,
Yeah.
except for I think Rogue One or whatever.
Yeah, I never feel
haven't
like I
seen
never
that
heard you
one.
like talk about Star Wars. It's like the weird.
I watch it, I like it,
Yeah.
but I like Moriel. Like I was already like invested that it was like already over.
Right. With the
But like
prequels. Yeah.
yeah, but these
And we were younger too. We were like
Yeah.
much younger when it was over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
like reading the scripts on as a child.
Right,
just
right.
Whatever, but that's fine with me.
Mm.
Avengers. I'm not as
Fine.
What?
You're not as fine with
No,
it.
no. I'm like not as hype as everyone else when it comes to like
Oh really?
those kind of movies. I watch it because I like it,
Uh-huh.
but it's just not like, oh my god, this is my life.
Right,
kind of
right.
thing. You know,
I think it's
to be honest with you, and don't y'all shoot me. I actually have never seen the first Avengers movie,
Oh wow.
so like,
Interesting.
But I watched all the other ones.
good.
It's,
No, I believe you. I just
it is-
haven't.
It's literally like a defining moment in like cinema.
I really
like,
just
superheroes
I
together.
just haven't.
Right. I think
But I think the fun thing about like the Marvel franchise is that it's not like every movie is good. It's like there
Yeah.
are those amazing movies in the Marvel franchise, and I think like the reason that everyone is so hyped about Endgame is because Infinity War
Right.
was amazing.
was so
It
good.
was
yeah.
amazing.
So like yeah, so it's like it's not even like oh my god, yes, the superhero movie. It's literally like that movie, regardless of it being a superhero movie, was
Right.
so good.
Yeah.
That like that's why everyone is hyped by the
Because like even the way that one ended, I was like, "What? That's it?"
Right.
Like I was yelling because I did watch it on my television.
Right.
I didn't go to the movie theaters for this.
Right.
But
He really is a pirate, y'all. He doesn't.
but like when it was, the release date when everyone was watching it, I just sat in my own home and just
Right.
and I was literally screaming at the television, like, "Why did you do this to me?"
Like I
So
don't
I'm
know.
excited for Endgame.
Right,
as
right,
far
right.
as like anything afterwards, I hope that they could expand it somehow.
Right.
I understand like
Hope they set something up like the
they have
next
to, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Like different characters, fine, whatever. because a lot more Avengers are.
Right, there's a lot more Marvel heroes, yeah.
I would like to see what they do, and I'm just really excited for the next X-Men movie. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, we talked about this.
Stop rolling your eyes. I'm just excited. I saw the trailer, and I'm very hyped about
to
it.
pop out of my socket. But I don't know. I feel like the thing like actually gets to me. Like the first Iron Man, when they set it up, the end of the movie was like Nick Fury being like, I have an initiative called the Avengers. Yeah. That was in 2008.
Yeah.
11 years later.
Oh, shit.
Like, it's
right.
all culminating. Of end of Avengers, there was a secret scene where like they show Thanos like as being the one behind it all. Mm-hmm. And then now he's just like, they're facing him for the final. It's just like crazy. It's TV
it's been in the
movies.
Works
Huh?
It's been in the works for forever.
It's just a TV opera in a movie, like just an elongated like the shit that they did. But I don't know. I'm gonna watch it all. I don't know about y'all, but I'll watch it all. Very excited. Very excited. Now I know you said that you're not really like into like TV film, but you have done like film stuff. Like you've definitely showed us like
I've dabbled.
You've like stuck your toe in with the third nipple in the water and seen if it's cold or not. How do you feel? I've done like small like theater projects and like black box theater, so I don't have much experience with that stuff. But you definitely do. Like, how do you feel like with theater versus film? I guess like with if you could say the techniques you use or like your mentality and like how you like channel a character versus like being on stage versus being like in front of a camera.
Yeah. Well, so I guess like
your approach.
The background. My background is in theater, so I think that's like why mostly I've just done theater because if your background is in film, then it's easier to get into film, you know, and like my background and my resume is almost exclusively theater. Besides a few projects that I've done, but I also took like multiple classes in college about film too, and I would say that, like, I think that people always make that, like, stereotypical comment about theater being big and film being small, right? But I don't necessarily subscribe to that because I think there is a level of film that's big and there is a level of theater that's small, too.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, like, mostly like when I was taking film classes, the thing that I had to learn was even just like using your normal voice too, because there is like you take
theater
voice and speech classes in theater because you need to communicate to an audience who's right in front of you. Yeah, but there's also technique in communicating with an audience that's going to be behind, who's not watching you in the moment, but so just learning how to like, I don't know, it doesn't fit. I don't necessarily mean like be smaller with my voice, but like just
condense.
even like
being
just
more
even
natural?
just like being more natural for sure, but like But again, there are those roles in film that are like super big and not natural too.
Right.
So
over the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. I mean, and again, I don't like.
Do you have like a comparison, like anything that's like you could relate to that, like?
I mean,
I guess.
Really, like any comedic.
There are tons of like huge, like, I don't know. For some reason, I just thought of Spy Kids.
Were you in
I love
Kids?
Spy Kids though.
I literally was like, I don't know.
Were you in that movie?
Yeah. What if I was?
I'd be like, holy shit! Which one?
I was one of the thumbs.
Lava Girl, like which one? The thumbs.
Lava Girl is definitely a different
Right, awkward shit, yeah. Right.
Shark Boy.
Did you mean
Lava
Antonio
Girl.
Banderas? Yeah.
No, but like, but just like the stylistic aspect of like movies like that, or even, I mean, I love Baz Luhrmann. I love his stuff.
Is like when you like take the stage versus like taking like this screen, do you besides like your voice, do you approach it differently? I guess in terms of blocking, because
I guess I would say like
blocking is movements for you guys. Yeah.
I'm more like with theater. Okay, here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
With theater, I feel like there's more room for me to like kind of like do whatever I want, like in the space.
More experimental.
Yeah,
kinda.
and like it's like if I take 2 steps right now and like tomorrow night I don't take 2 steps, like
yes.
it's like whatever I'm like feeling in the moment, whatever. But I definitely did find that in like the minimal film work that I did, it was like very specific. Like I have to look at this point right over here because that's technically where my mark is supposed to be, or whatever, or like technically where the person who I'm talking to is supposed to be, whatever it is.
Right.
So like there are things that I think about in film that I don't think about in theater, like just so specifically, like just where your eyes are going,
or
like
eyeline,
and things like not wearing dangly earrings that are distracting, in an audition setting.
Yes.
Like certain things like that you don't think about so much in theater. But I also wonder, like, I think, like, probably from someone who comes from a film background, you'd have to think about things totally in the opposite way, too. Like, for you, probably, it seems, like, normal to, like, make sure your eyeline is good and, like, whatever it is, but might be like abnormal to like
yes
use your whole voice or
right like I definitely find myself sometimes when I'm filming, like, even just paying attention to my like head frame, like where like my chin is pointing, like when you take a picture and you're just like moving your head around to like your best angle. I find myself just doing that and not even seeing the screen. Like, if you did it in theater, you probably look like a lunatic. Like, you probably like, like you look like fucking Chucky's bride. Like, like probably super weird. And then you have the whole thing where in theater you could try something new and then keep going. Where in film you get 1 take, 2 takes, or 7 takes, like depending on the director.
I also think it's so interesting how it could be more hard or less hard, like in whatever. Either way, because okay, all right, guys.
That's what she said, literally.
Okay, what I meant by that was like because the way you could look at it is like, okay, in film acting, if you mess up, you have another take. In theater, you don't have another. It's live, right?
Excuse me, folks. I'm gonna do the scene again.
Yeah, but then it's
what the fuck?
but also in theater you do have this kind of like more improv, like I can kind of do whatever I want in the moment kind of thing. So I have lots of respect for film acting, and I also think that it's not something I've ruled out in terms of my career at all. It's just like where my training and where my background is.
Yeah. I feel the same way about theater. Yeah, definitely. And we know you could definitely act on the film because we saw your excellent Oscar-worthy performance in the Crab People, or what was it called?
It's called Meth Crabs. Thank you.
Meth Crabs. Holy shit, guys! I don't know if this is free to view online.
Oh yeah, it is. Just Google Meth Crabs.
Please, for the love of God, check out that film. I think it's a short film, right?
Yeah.
Like semi-short film.
She's a screamer.
Just basically about, what is it, like crabs that get AIDS or like something like that, and they attack people.
Crabs.
So it's technically like a concept trailer, and I'm not sure if the company is eventually going to. The goal when I was doing it was to do a feature, because their whole thing was like Sharknado is the thing, so why can't Meth Crabs be a thing?
It was like Beach Party meets
60s dance
horror.
Like Beach Party meets horror, like exactly what you said.
Yeah, like sea monster.
A crab finds like a meth
like a needle
on the beach and becomes mutant,
rabid.
And I booked Girl Who Screams into camera. So it was really some excellent work. You could really tell that I was scared and just thought that I was gonna die by.
I feel like you channeled like your Pulp Fiction in that, like the way you're
truly.
Like the way you were wiggling around. That was great. Do you have like more like film credits or
I've done
feature films or like
Yes. So I've done a few like indie film, like student films,
Right.
but honestly, not worth it.
Don't want to Google that one.
But then, yeah,
Please don't.
I booked a film one time by literally this guy. It sounds so creepy.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna let you know it sounds creepy,
Was
but
it on the train?
Slid in the
yeah,
DMs.
this guy like saw me on the subway.
Did you know that story?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, how the
He
fuck
saw
how'd you know that?
me on the subway. He like held the train door for me. I was running in, and he was with a group of friends, and I wasn't paying any attention. And then the group of friends got off, and he like sat down next to me on the train, and I had just come from rehearsal, so I had my script with me.
Mm-hmm.
So he looked at me and he was like, "Hey, this sounds weird, but like, are you by any chance an actor?"
And you were like, holy shit.
I know. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna
getting
die! I'm
cast
gonna
in
die! I'm
Bewitched
gonna
Live,
die!"
like, or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "It's just because I saw your book, your script."
Yes.
And he basically was like, "I just really like your look, and I think you'd be really good for this role that I have in my feature." And I was like, "What?" But then he didn't. The good news is he made super sure to not ask for any of my information. He
Right.
was just like, "Here is the website to the project. Here is my personal website.
Okay.
Here's my social media. Here's my email. You go home and you do your research on me and like research on the project, and you make sure that this is legit
Wow.
because it is. And then you like reach out to me and send me your headshot and resume and your reel and like all this
Okay.
stuff."
You thought he was like trying to smash. Like, it was like, all right, guy, like, please. What a fucking.
I mean,
I'm making a movie.
He
Be a
was-
part of it.
He was casting for a porn.
Yeah. So
this
come to
was
my room.
the fear. But I mean, mad respect to him for like not being like, "Can I get your whatever?"
Like your
I actually
numbers,
really
yeah.
respected the fact that he
Oh,
was
that's
like,
still very
"Here's
professional.
my stuff,"
Yeah.
and like just because like I would love to like take a look at your
Yes.
work and everything,
Yes.
and you but like go home and make sure I'm real.
Right, right.
So yeah, so
And-
I did like a small little role in his feature, which hasn't come out yet.
Oh,
But
okay.
I actually just ran into him again in the grocery store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow. That's super cool. That was a feator?
Yeah,
A feature film? Wow. That's
Cool.
okay.
yeah.
Was your character like any type of like pickup girl? Or-
No,
No? Was it legit?
no,
like,
it was like
character?
an artist kind of vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and there's a theme of red hair in the film, so I think that's why he like
Saw the.
he like noticed me in the beginning.
Okay.
They had red hair.
All right. Archikins. Sounds good.
Yeah.
What the hell was I gonna say? Have you done TV? Any TV stuff? No.
I have not.
Would you like consider it? Like if
Yeah.
the opportunity to arise?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think my main thing right now is that it's just hard to do without experience, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
And I get a lot of the time that I should go for film because I have a like specific look,
Right.
whatever the hell that means. Hopefully it means I'm a good actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust me, I get that a lot.
Yeah. The look thing.
You have a look.
You have a look.
It's true.
Yes. What would be like your what's your like your role that I know you're not film but like your
Yeah.
TV role like you'd want to like model after like
Oh my god, I want to be another like strong hot girl on Jessica Jones.
oh my gosh. Okay.
That's my like because it films in New York, like
Yes.
and all of this. I'm like,
It's not canceled yet?
I think it is.
I mean,
Pretty sure it is.
Oh, okay.
I think
Well,
they canceled a bunch of Marvel stuff on Netflix.
right, yeah.
I mean that's not like a real.
But like with like powers or like was it
Oh,
Trish?
heck
Like her
yeah.
friend who's just like a singer?
no.
You want like powers like
I want to be strong.
right. No, I want to be strong. I want to pimp slap a dude. Like,
Oh, and actually, like, this is so sad, but I only recently started watching Broad City, and it's their
Okay.
final season right now. And I don't know, have you guys seen Broad City at all?
No, I don't even
Oh
know
my
what that is.
The two of them are like it's some scripted and some improv, and they're just hilarious. And they have the funniest friendship, and they're just like trolling their way through their horrible lives in New York City. And I see myself as their like third friend.
Oh wow.
So like so much.
Okay.
But sadly, it's
ending this.
It's ending.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a Sex in the City thing.
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
God no.
From what I see in the trailers, I haven't seen it. But
Oh, okay.
definitely
I was
not.
like, you're not putting your
nothing
input.
like that. Yeah, but I
Okay.
think a lot about like shows that film in New York a lot. Just
It's easier.
yeah, just because like in any if I ever got the opportunity
Right.
to go in for something.
I see
Yeah.
you on Law and Order.
Yeah, like
Oh yes.
I definitely
Like-
see her just in Law and Order.
Like throwing like a fucking like a
Either as-
prison photo on the table, like this is our guy, and do their hands on the hips.
Yes.
Thing, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I'm not even
Like,
kidding you. Like that's how I see myself though. I see myself as like one of those like
Women empowerment.
women
roles.
in power
Mm-hmm.
like lawyer types.
I see that though.
Right.
Yeah, so
definitely
I'm
has a
kind
nice
of waiting
look.
to age
Yes.
into a lot of the things that I see myself doing too,
Right.
and I'm just sort of getting to the point in my life where I am starting to play, like I'm not one of those like weird
Gotta be 30
young
year
ladies who, yeah, it's like I had an issue for a while where I was like ingenue kind of age. Like the young, like
Yeah.
innocent character, but like
Oh,
nothing
typecasted
about
into it.
me and my look or my personality or like how I read or whatever is like ingenue-y.
That comes off like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also tall too, so like
Right.
working opposite.
Yeah, tall
men
people
who
are definitely not
short.
innocent. They're whores, yeah.
Oh my god. But
Just
like
kidding.
actually.
She is
Yeah.
definitely not a damsel in distress.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
like you would it's like
Although.
I could
I'm a
I could
damsel,
act
I'm in
those roles
distress.
just
Just
fine,
fine, yes.
but like because I genuinely think
They
that
just-
they're easy,
Right.
controversial, but like it's not necessarily believable. So I had a hard time for it. But anyways, I'm 25, so I'm not old or anything. But like I feel like in my late 20s, early 30s, I'm finally gonna like get to leading lady status,
Okay.
which is like I should be a leading lady. That's my
Like you feel like you're not there yet, or you feel like you're just gonna wait and get more experience and do it like.
I absolutely feel like I am there yet, but a lot of the leading lady type of characters are like in their 30s.
Like she's transitioning, but like she's
Yeah.
in like that weird like awkward like stage.
Right.
Yeah, but I was
Right.
also in a weird awkward stage too, where I was like, 20 but like still,
Playing
tall
like 15.
and crazy red hair and have like a potty mouth and a sassy personality, and I can't
Potty
play
mouth.
like the young, like innocent lover type.
Right. Yeah, like once you're like 35, you can't play like the I'm a virgin.
Yes.
Like that type of thing. Yeah.
Although I
Far-fetched.
would love to see that.
Right. I'd love to see that, Lee. Wouldn't like to see that. Okay, cool. Final question. Digital drums, please. Don't do it because there's going to be feedback. Do you believe that this is, since you're Seattle born and raised, right? Mm-hmm. Coming to New York City.
Well, actually, technically not born, but I was born in Boston. But I only lived
Boston?
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
When did you go to Seattle?
when I was 2, so I don't even remember.
So she was
Boston.
raised.
Yeah, typically. I mean,
Seattle raised.
technically, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the question is like from Seattle to New York City, like I don't know if you like heard hype, like being all the way across the country of like what New York City was like for actors and like the entertainers. Do you think that like the city of dreams, like it lived up to the hype, like the concrete jungle where dreams are made of? Alicia Keys doesn't wear makeup anymore, like that. Like, did you get like that sense? Like this is the hype. Like this is it. Like I'm here. Like the bright lights.
Yeah.
The bushy tails.
So I will say, I still love New York. I really do. But my love for it has changed. It's like, when I came here when I was 18, I was still like, I still loved Times Square.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like,
Yes. Now that you've been
kill
through
me.
it. Yes. Kill me, please.
No, but I'm gonna avoid Times Square as much as I can.
humanly
Yes.
possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I still, I think there is something to be said. I still do feel like I have emotions of oh my God, I'm here,
Like
I made it,
enchanted
kind of
by
thing.
it.
But only because, not because I think it's, you know, anyone can technically pick up and move to New York, right? You know, obviously assuming you are financially able to do that, but
Right.
like, but I also think it requires an amount of like grit and bravery and like stamina
Right.
that it does not in other
And heart,
living in
yes.
other places. Yeah, so I still feel like, yeah, it's really, really hard to live here, but I definitely feel like there is something magical about like everyone just out here trying to make it.
Right.
You know, like
Yes.
everyone
Yes.
just like hitting the pavement, you know,
Right,
like
balls to the wall. Like
Yeah.
we're doing this. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
so I
eating
think-
for days just to get this role.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And so I no, like I don't like I'm not like amazed or starstruck anymore. Like
Right.
when I see celebrities on the street or, you know, whatever it is, it's less of a thing. And then also like I hate Times Square, you know, all of that
Yes,
jazz,
yes,
like
yes.
the main New
You've
York kind
learned.
of things. But I also I guess I've learned to love to like I appreciate the amount of work that people do to like make it here
Right.
and live here and yeah.
Do
So-
you feel like it was everything that you like heard of, like all the opportunities and all the like, I guess backgrounds or like the I don't know, the ability to do all the things you wanted to do that people said,
don't know, like,
is it everything that like that?
So I think that I also heard, along with all of that stuff, I also heard, yeah, but it's really hard and really competitive, and like everyone is a broke actor, you
Right.
know, and
yes,
like
yes, the
I
scary
think
story,
it-
Starving artist.
the
Yeah.
the thriving,
We're thriving. Not
thriving.
We're
Hello.
thriving, not
No,
starving.
we don't say that. That's a negative
Yeah.
negative connotation. Just like calling people crazy. Okay,
Ramen for the rest of your life until you make
mentally crippled.
yeah.
Yes, right.
Like,
All the
it. Why am I here?
right. Like, wow, can we end this, please? Yeah, but right. So it just kind of, you just kind of got accustomed to it, right? You
Yeah,
kind of
well,
just got comfortable with it.
again, I thought like, okay, so when I saw the Rent movie, like the musical
Mm-hmm.
Rent, there is like that is about, you know, the 80s AIDS crisis. So not
Yes.
to say that there's anything glamorous about it, but there also was this like bohemian, like we're all broken, like we don't care.
Glamorous
and
about
we're
AIDS?
Just, like yeah.
Oh.
Got to go back and
We're gonna have to
rewatch
take,
that
we're
movie.
gonna have to like take the AIDS part out of it and think of everything else.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay?
so
Just
like
take the AIDS part out.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a
no,
good
no,
movie.
no, yeah. I mean, my point is like obviously it's about like very hard times
Right,
in New York and
right.
very sad things,
Right.
Yes.
but there also is like there was a level of like we're all broke artists and we're all like
In it together.
we're just
like-
in it together and we're just like living life and we're like naked sometimes. Like
Right.
it's like
You
know,
never know what's
crazy.
gonna happen.
Yeah, so
Yes.
there is something like kind of glamorous. I felt like before I came here there was something kind of glamorous about like being a New York starving artist, like
Yes.
where everyone is like.
Yeah.
We just like live for our art and everything.
Just
and
get
I
a
will
French
say,
accent. Like, I am here for the art.
live for our art. I'm horrible at French accents,
Right,
but anyways,
Me too.
yeah. But I will say, yeah, it's definitely a wake up call to actually be in it and be like, oh wow, how do you pay for health insurance?
Right.
like you know, and. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, like, it's not
'Cause-
funny to be
Broke, yeah.
anymore. You know,
Right,
it's
but
like,
there is a level of excitement, I'm sure.
yeah.
Like to just be living on the edge every day.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like masochistic in that
Right.
kind of way. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm just in it for the art.
Yes.
And then you're also like, how do I go to the doctor?
Right. Like, can you spare a coin, please, sir? Like,
And then someone asks you that, you're like, no.
no.
But I should, but also like, not really.
yeah, I haven't eaten in a couple days. I'm still swallowing my
I
own
can't even
spit.
give you my last quarter. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a
Eat
nibble.
this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like homeless guy is just like shaking the can, and you're just like, can I take one of those? It's like,
Oh
oh,
God.
blah, blah, blah. Just, like, I understand your pain. Take the quarter. No, because I feel like I'm just curious because, like, you know, I was born and raised in New York, and I don't feel any of that stuff, like, ever. I guess, like, when I started growing up and going to the city more and more, like, when I was, like, 15, 16, and I was like, wow, this is, like, cool, like, city, like, rather than being in the suburbs or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I never had that, like, coming in from somewhere and being like, oh, this is all like new and like, oh, you're a stranger, hey stranger, like, oh, like, you know, like.
I also think too that like since I grew up in a big city already, it was much less of a culture shock coming here.
Okay.
Because I mean Seattle is a very, very different big city,
right?
But
right.
it just with the whole vibe, but it still isn't like, you know, I was used to public transportation and crowded like areas and tourists and you know, all that jazz.
In Seattle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never been. I don't know.
You should go.
Yeah, I do want to go like for like a day.
I feel like you would really like the Pacific Northwest.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it cold?
But it's like
It's raining?
It's like the same. It's like warmer than here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I hate this weather now. Like, I think New York weather. Like, I feel like New York sucks now. Like, there's no more four seasons.
Honestly,
like,
I do think New York sucks now.
Yeah, like it's
We have
Weather-wise and
seasons in
people-wise.
Seattle.
people wise
There are
and
seasons.
financial wise. Like, it's got so fucking expensive. Like,
Yeah.
it's just insane. But
I
do
think
want,
it's different. Yeah, you grew up here, so
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, now I have lots of friends who spent their whole lives in New York, and
Right.
I feel like all of them are like, okay, so when can we leave?
Right.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm definitely like, I feel like I'm counting the days, like planning, like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna like leave and just see what else
Never
is
come
there.
back.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if maybe I will come back, but like just to see, like, you know, just like living here your whole life is just like, all right. Because everybody wants to be in New York. Well, not
Yeah.
everybody, but almost the world wants to be in New York City.
Right.
Ready to
Like,
leave.
because there's so much, the melting pot of all different cultures and different types of foods and different entertainment
Yeah.
and like all this shit. It's like, all right, I've seen a lot of this shit already. Kind of want to get away from it now.
Yeah,
You know?
I think there's, I totally get that.
Yeah.
I also, but like, I think there's something like to be said about, you know, the crazy people on the subway and
Yes.
everyone around them just ignoring them, like not even
Isn't it
thinking
insane?
it's a thing. Like,
Isn't it
it's
crazy?
So I never think about it because whenever I see a crazy person on the subway, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, you know, sometimes it hits me that like no one is watching and like no one cares.
I do
And
tend
it's-
to watch everybody else.
Yeah,
Like
To
their
see their
reactions.
reaction.
Yeah.
Like to be like, oh, they'll like fix their headphones
Mm-hmm.
or pretend to sleep, you know?
It's
I'm just like, I just don't have the money to give this person.
it's
Yeah,
just
but even if it's not even like a money situation
Right.
and someone
Or
is
like
just
food
like
or
doing
whatever.
something crazy.
yeah.
What time is it? Showtime?
Well, it's just it's stuff like that, like, or just like on the train ride and you're just like looking like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I saw a dude on the train who was like dressed like an alien.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just like crouched down with like big eyes, and he was like,
And no one was
and
reacting.
people were like, the dude's like reading the paper, like, oh, Wall Street's fine. Let's see what the stocks are like. He's
So
like,
it gets to a point where it's like it gets to a point where it almost goes in the reverse direction. Like I was on the train one time several years ago and I will never forget it because this guy gets out his saxophone and he starts like playing the worst saxophone you have ever heard, like squeaking, like just like horrible, right? Like actually horrible. And I was very quick to I think because I'm a troll myself, I was very quick to realize that he was trolling everyone. But I
Oh.
think that everyone else, like no one else on the train understood what was happening.
Right.
Like everyone was like just ignoring it or like, you know, pretending to listen
Yes.
kind of. And I was like cracking up because it was horrible.
It's so bad, yeah.
And
Like
then
Squidward and his clarinet.
at the end of the so eventually the guy like finishes and he's like okay, so if you want me to stop, I'll be I'll be passing my hat around. And it was so funny.
Right.
And people like, you know, gave him money
Didn't get
because
it, yeah.
they were I mean, he was trolling everyone.
Right.
But everyone was so actively about like this is normal.
Right.
And I was
everything
like-
is fine. Yeah.
I was literally sitting in my chair, just actually like tears rolling
Right,
down my
right.
face because
Yeah, because you kind of just build that tolerance. You just kind of, no matter what, you just block it out. Like someone could open the car, throw a torso in, and it could just be a talking body, be like, "Hey guys, so just came from Nam. I could use some help." And like, if somebody flip me, and be like, just listening to Drake and shit. Like,
I would be staring at the person like, "What am I looking at right now?"
just, hey,
Jamie, you're a unique case.
What am I looking? He looks like a pancake.
Can you flip me, bro? Hey, just inching towards you, like, whoa.
Like, you okay? Like, even like when you see like, I mean, it's where I live. There's a bunch of like drunk Mexicans.
Yeah.
So like sometimes they're like, no, it's true.
Right.
So sometimes they'll just pass out on the train, like in front of the doors. Next thing you know, I just see people just going
over them.
You ever see someone
it's like, okay, you're not gonna be like, hey, sir, are you okay?
Right.
No, you just hop over them just to get off, like it's normal. Like, this happens
it's
all the
almost
time.
like it's total trash, but it's almost like funny how
How
much it is trash.
Didn't you tell a story that like somebody died like on the sub and they threw
no
like
one
a tarp
died
over them? But like, all right, well,
okay, you definitely took that. Definitely not the story.
No, I thought it was.
Definitely, the
Jamie just
old
like
lady.
kicked him into the tracks.
The old lady had it was it was rush hour, the morning rush hour, and some lady had passed out on the train. So and normally people would be like pull the emergency brake, whatever. No, two guys actually took her body and they placed it on one of the seats outside of the platform and left her there and went back on the train.
My God.
The funniest shit ever. Like,
I was like, I was like, okay. And everyone's like cheered. Everyone cheered when they came in. Because, it's like, oh, we have to delay this train because of a sick passenger. We didn't want that.
That's literally what happened to me on the way here. There was a sick passenger.
Yeah?
I was like, come on.
oh, I don't know what that really means, honestly.
No, I don't know what that means, but we didn't want that to happen to us because it was
Right.
already a packed train. It was hot. Reasoning
Hope
why
that
the
lady's
late.
okay.
I don't-
Lady, if you're
probably.
listening.
I don't know why I thought that she died and like they just took her and be like,
No,
all right,
she-
well, let's just put
She
her
literally, like you heard her. You heard her go.
place her here.
You heard her go. Woo! And then she fell. And then we're like, "What's happening?" And then we just see the two guys just lift her, put her on the seat
Right.
outside,
No one like
and then went
stayed
back on the
with
train.
her? Damn.
No,
Jesus Christ.
we
Right.
all wanted to get to work. Like,
So that's really what it's all about, though. Like wanting to just get where you have to go. Like
Right.
nobody cares what's going on.
She didn't die. I don't think.
Right. I mean, you don't know.
Lady, though,
don't
if
know.
you're listening.
She looked like she was
reach out.
coherent.
Abuela, like, are you okay? Like,
definitely
email us
coherent.
ICBIMC at
She was like
gmail.com.
one of those babushka ladies.
Babushka. Oh, she had the head thing.
Yeah, yeah.
She was shivering and
She definitely had one of those
speaking
head things.
rituals.
The babushka things.
Babushka.
Yikes.
Oh my God.
Babushka.
That just plays here. Free babushka. Free
I
babushka.
feel really bad,
Aw.
but I was like, I have to get to work.
Listen, man. It's
Yeah, but that could have been a prime excuse to not get to work.
like I had to like
I
had to
take care
save
of an
a
old
lady's
lady,
life.
not my grandmother.
carry a dead body like out of the
She
subway.
wasn't dead.
You don't know that.
She was coherent when
Did
she
you
was
check her
sitting
pulse?
down.
But she could have just went, oh, and died. Like, you don't know. Like, you didn't, like, okay, is she okay? Is she breathing? Nope.
What?
All right.
What was this?
Like, just checking her breath. Like,
Oh,
checking if she's breathing. I don't know.
Pretending to have a mustache. Like you have one.
Oh. What the fuck would that be? Like, oh, she's fine.
I thought you were imitating me with my creeper stash when I had it.
Oh my God. Have you seen this guy with a mustache?
I don't think so.
Good.
And you never shall.
Oh, he'll
But I
show.
shaved it off today.
He'll show you later, man. Oh
I
Lord,
will.
definitely look like a top on
I'm
that
about to
one.
get a drink tonight.
Just grow one out of manliness.
Yeah, that's how it works, right? You guys just like,
Push it out.
this has been very informative.
Yes, yes. But yeah, so let's wrap this up. Just talk about, I guess, I don't know how big you are into watching movies like that, but
Yeah.
I guess like we always talk about like recent like movies or TV shows or things we've watched that I like want to share. Jamie, have you?
So
watched
me,
anything?
nothing at all.
Haven't
Nothing.
watched anything, no?
Nope.
Jamie just
Nope.
exists.
Nothing.
And
I
that's
just,
it.
I just.
You don't watch TV?
Actually, no, I haven't turned on my TV. Okay, actually, I've been living my teenage
Oh, here we go.
What are you
life.
rewatching?
That's so Raven.
Again?
No.
You talked about it in one episode.
Oh, I
You
did?
talked about the sequel.
Oh, no, that's a sequel. But I'm talking about the actual, like,
Right.
the 30-minute show
Gotcha.
that was on Disney Channel. I've been watching that. And reality TV shows. I was
Okay.
watching X on the Beach for a while, which I
hear
still
that's
don't.
good.
It's really good, but it's just for drama purposes.
Right, just to see.
Just a drama. Like no one wins anything.
a guy
no,
with an
it's
8-pack, like, say, like, you don't know me, and then throw a drink at a hussy.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
you know that there's a scene like that.
Yeah,
You know
there has
this.
to be.
You know, there's hussies.
It's a bunch of like reality personalities,
Right.
in one house,
Right.
for another reality show.
Yes, none of
And
them
all
can
the
act.
exes come in and fuck shit up.
Right,
I hear
right.
that they're not actually on the beach though.
Probably not.
No, like I literally like
That's half the show.
I have heard of this, like, that they're
Like
that
behind
they're
the scenes?
actually not on the beach.
Oh, wow. That's...
Like something stupid like that.
I think they're like on like.
Out of all the
I
things to be
believe it.
false.
I believe it because I mean, in the show, it's showing that like, oh, the ex is washing up on shore and they're
Yeah,
like
it's
coming out all sexy in the
Yeah.
water, flipping their hair and
They filmed that
bodies
separately.
glistening.
Right, like, where the fuck did you just come from? Like the Mariana Trench, bitch? Like,
Right.
what the fuck? Just walking out the water. Okay.
That's pretty much it. That's
I saw Shazam.
no one cares. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I heard it was really
I
good.
love Zachary Levi.
Yes, he was actually really great.
Yeah.
And it was definitely the best DC movie for sure. I thought it was really
Really?
good. It was just like a lot of fun. The DC movies before, they just like been like broody and serious and dark, which can be good, but like they actually like, it seemed like, when there's a writer who has passion in the subject and they actually like take time to like put their heart into it and like interested in what's going on, you could tell like they actually like liked Shazam and like the history and like the lore and all that. But for some of these projects, they just throw it out for like a couple dollars, whatever. But it was fun. It was a really good movie. I say watch it. It's like Big with Tom Hanks meets Superman, which is like just really cool. I also try to watch this Netflix, not Hulu original called "I'm Just Fucking with You," which at first it was kind of like charming in a way. It was basically just like a shitty situation happens, and then it's like, gotcha, or then it just goes to the extreme. Like it'll be like something like I took your credit card, and then it'll be like, oh, can I have it back? It's like, you never gave it to me. Can I have it? And it's like, I just gave it to you. You're like, just fucking with you.
Okay.
And then it'll go to like kidnapping your wife. Sort of like,
That escalated
like
quickly.
where is Sarah? Like it'll be like extreme, like, where are you? I don't know where you are. Like it's like car crash on I-69, and it's like she was on that highway. You're not answering me. He like panics and stuff, and like the guy's like, she's right here. Gotcha. And the guy's like tearing, crying,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
almost like murder someone over it. It's like, but it just gets stupid. But yeah, I didn't finish it.
So not really a recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Like it's
I'm
it
probably
wears.
gonna watch that now.
Yeah, it like the comedy
Jamie
kind
was
of.
like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm totally in.
JK blew up the world. Psych, we're all dead. How about you? Any like
No,
TV shows
no, like
or
recent movies.
in the past 3 years?
But well,
No, it's just like recently.
sure. But like, nothing that I've like.
It could be. It doesn't have to be new movies. It could be like
Yeah.
just like an old '90s movie or something.
Okay. Well, TV. Well, I've been watching The OA on Netflix, which I watched season 1 when it came out years ago,
Right.
and season 2 recently came out, and I'm like part of the way through
Yeah.
season 2, and I think it's amazing and
Right.
beautifully made.
That's an old show, right? No. Oh, I thought. It was.
And maybe you're thinking of the OC.
Oh, see, yes. All these old.
The OA.
Yes.
It's like it's a Netflix original. It's really really
Oh,
cool, and
okay.
there's like aspects of sci-fi and fantasy, and it's just like aspects.
Right. They're pretty good at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I love it. I think
Okay.
it's awesome. And it's like well acted
Right.
as well. I guess
You
I mean-
it sounds like you'd like Westworld. Have you seen it?
yes.
Oh, you have?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. all
Season
that.
1 was way better than season 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, controversial opinion.
Right, right.
But yeah, I love Westworld.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I mean, I guess a recent movie that I saw like multiple times in theaters when I was in high school was I rewatched How to Train Your Dragon. Excellent film.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't seen
I haven't seen
You
the new
have
one.
to see it. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
3?
I haven't seen the new one, no.
I haven't
But
seen
like
I've seen-
I rewatched like the first one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
No,
like,
I've seen it.
I haven't seen the first one.
Oh.
Or the second one, or the third
So
one.
good.
So I
And
guess
the
I should
third one,
watch it.
like, just came out.
Yeah.
Hidden World or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think that's what it's
I heard it was
called.
good. It's like he meets like a female dragon, like a female knight.
Yeah.
Fury or something.
Whatever it's called.
Right. I don't know.
He, like,
It's
toothless.
dragons.
Yeah.
Huh?
You like a toothless dragon?
Toothless.
That's his name.
Yes. That's what he called.
Haven't watched it.
But you know it. Yeah, he's adorable. Okay, cool. So that about wraps it up. Moriel, just real quick, what is your next shows that's coming up?
Newsies.
Newsies.
Plays in the Park in Edison, New Jersey.
July
And
10th to the 20th.
July 10th to the 20th. You can go onto the website, Plays in the Park. I think it's if you just Google it. I don't remember the
Okay.
website, but
Just Google
to
Plays in the Park,
learn
okay.
more information. They're also doing Evita and the Addams Family this summer.
Ooh.
So you could like
You are
see all
or
3
they are?
shows. No. The company.
Oh, okay.
Is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can get tickets.
It's like fun outdoor settings. You
Right.
go on like a really nice night. You bring a lawn chair. You bring your friends.
Yes. You bring a flask.
You bring up. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Put your
you'll
vodka
probably
soda
get
in.
in trouble, but like.
Bring your cuddle
But no,
buddy.
that's why you put it in a flask.
Put in a flask. You put it in like the binoculars that has the scotch. It's like, wow, I can't see this show. You just drink from it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you get tickets at the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about like it's not gonna sell out or anything because it's a big like open space.
Okay.
But if you want a good seat, then get there early.
Cool. Yeah. So definitely check that out. Where can people follow you on social media?
My Instagram is at Momo _Behar. My last name Behar.
Okay.
So Momo_Behar, and then my website morielbehar.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any
those
Twitter?
are the
No Twitter?
No Twitter,
Aw.
but I pretty much treat Instagram like Twitter.
Okay.
In that I just like take stories of whatever is on my mind rather
Yes.
than writing it in 140
Okay.
characters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like I've just utilized Twitter a lot more, like in the
Yeah.
past year.
I'm trying to.
Right.
I'm slowly trying to utilize my Twitter.
It's definitely a lot more interesting, like the stuff that people put on there.
Yeah.
Like they talk about.
I'm just
Yes.
tired of these nasty people that I'm following, looking at porn and liking it, and it pops up on my feed
On Twitter?
on Twitter.
Dude, what is with that? I've seen some dude I follow from school, and he put an eye heart emoji and a porn star. I was like, what the fuck? You nasty hoe.
I don't know the Twitter culture. I mean, the only reason
It's just certain people.
yeah.
No, certain people, I'm following someone who, I mean, you can like whoever you like, whatever, that's cool.
Yeah.
But he likes transgender chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff that he likes,
You could see
I'm
what he
like-
likes. Yeah.
oh, she's pretty. Oh, she is she has a penis.
Right.
And she's playing, I'm just like, okay.
It's a trap, yeah.
It's this. I'm like, why are you liking this?
Right,
Why am I
everything's-
seeing this?
Everything's
I
more
actually
public,
had to
yeah.
unfollow certain people because I'm like, I don't want to see this while I'm on the train.
Yeah.
And it pops up and someone's nosy.
Right. I think it's just funny when people just talk about the things in a comedic fashion and everybody likes it and then
I also, for me, I've been thinking about getting on Twitter just because there are people that I follow, the careers of, and that aren't really on Instagram or whatever, you
Right.
know, like certain politicians or people in the political world that
Right.
I really like what they have to say, and most of what they have to say is on Twitter, you know.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. No, I'd say definitely try to utilize it a little bit more. Because
yeah,
you could also see different events that are happening or promotions for stuff,
Yeah.
and I've caught some whiff of that. But cool. So definitely follow Moriel. You can follow me, Alex, your host, Instagram at AP Suave, YouTube at AP Suaves, and Twitter at AP Suaves.
Oh, and you could follow me at jamie.pinheiro on Instagram and Twitter. I am Jamie Pinheiro. Also, follow my YouTube channel called Very That. Subscribe, please. I just started it, and I would love the support. Thanks.
Yeah, real quick. Talk about that. Just a little, like, your first... It's like a talk show. Like you just... Sorry, we didn't have time because we have our very special guest.
Moriel Behar.
Ooh. On Jamie's YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel is definitely geared to the LGBT community, but of course anyone could subscribe. And if you're interested in learning and just seeing a different perspective on our community, I would appreciate it. My first episode, I'm actually just talking about a TV show that I watch, RuPaul's Drag Race, and how the fans of that show kind of take it to the extreme, where understanding it's a competition show and everyone is rooting for their favorite drag queen. Sometimes when that person loses, fans are like, "Oh, you don't deserve to be here," or sending death threats,
Yeah.
So I was trying to really shine the light on it's just a show.
Okay.
There's a lot of production going on. There's a lot of editing where it could appear that one queen is saying something to someone when that's not even the case. Just trying to give everyone a different character and a different story.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot more content coming out. My next episode, hopefully that I'll be able to release next week.
This week for the listeners.
This week for the listeners. It's going to be my coming out story.
Cool.
And it's not going to be the typical coming out story.
Right. It's going to be rated X.
No, not rated X. It's just going to be a different. It's going to be just a different outlook. It's not necessarily coming out oh, mom, dad, I'm gay.
Yeah.
That experience. It's more of just me accepting myself.
Cool.
And
cool.
when I was comfortable, even though I said that I was gay, or that I am gay.
Different now.
Different now.
Not comfortable anymore.
It's just now.
Faded.
It was when that age that I was just okay, I could say to the whole world and not
right.
withhold that information.
Scream to the heavens, I'm gay.
Yeah, I'm basically that moment.
Yes.
That moment.
Absolutely. So definitely subscribe to Very That. We'll talk about episode 2 in the next podcast episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, of course, which is also on Spotify if you haven't already, and follow us on Instagram, ICBIMC, Twitter, ICBIMC, and YouTube at the NYC Visionaries, where we'll have clips and full videos coming at you. But that has been episode 14. Thank you so much, Moriel, for coming and joining us and explaining your journey.
Gracias.
Gracias, mi amor. And one more time together, Moriel. Bye, guys.